let me show you that how they have directly given the questions from our test series notes and our classes in this exam, mains exam. Okay, this was a forest services exam and the paper is environmental science optional. Okay, so just see this. This is paper 1. Okay, these are written in very smaller words. I think it will be very difficult for you to watch it, but still I will read it for you. Okay, on the left side, the questions are directly which came in exam. So this is from exam question paper. And on the right side, this is the screenshot from our test series. Okay, or test series or whatever notes we gave. These questions are from our test series. Okay, so this is paper 1. Actually, there were two paper 1 and paper 2. So in paper 1, I will show you that how exactly all the questions are matching. There is another paper, general studies, in which 4 questions directly came from our test, but I have not kept that in slide. Okay, because the time was not permitting. I was in a hurry to make it anyway. So if you see these questions, I will read this for you and then you will understand. So the first question which came in this exam, Forest Services mains exam, was explain origin of early earth and then explain about differentiation and layered structure of the earth when the atmosphere and ocean evolved and life was detected on earth. Now I want to share one more information because this syllabus of this exam is copied from MPSC. Okay, whatever syllabus is given in Meghalaya Public Service Commission, direct it is copied in JPSC Public Service Commissions. So one thing you should be sure that similar kind of question you will see in your MPSC Forest Services exam also. Okay, so now the first question is about origin of early earth and then about differentiation. Okay, and in our test series we asked the question, explain the concept of primary differentiation. So earth, when earth was formed, there was differentiation, primary differentiation in the formation of layers of earth. So this is that concept question is asked. So directly we ask the question, explain the concept of primary differentiation of earth and physical chemical factors responsible for the separation of core and everything else. So direct same question we asked in our exams also. Then question number 2 is describe the flow of energy through different trophic levels in an ecosystem. With the help of diagram, explain the energy pyramid. Now see what questions we placed in our test. So first question is what is meant by energy flow in an ecosystem? That is a directly they have asked this question in their exam also. And how it is related to the concept of productivity at different levels of food chain. So one question, then because we had 6 tests, so in another test also we have asked the question what is an ecological pyramid? Again this question is here. Explain the third question we asked in another test. Explain the concept of energy flow in an ecosystem. So you can see that both the questions are directly matching and we have asked multiple number of times in our tests. Not a single time but rather multiple number of times we have asked this question. And the students, they have practiced this question in a much more detail. So because of that they had very comfortable level in the exam and they will get very good marks in the exam. Okay, so now let us come to question number 3. Very quickly I want to show you. Now the question number 3 is explain the Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974, highlighting its objective, important provision, etc., etc. So in our exam we asked the question, explain the role of Water Prevention Act 1974 in controlling industrial and municipal water pollution, discuss the limitation of acts, etc., etc. Again, Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974 directly asked. Then why is the question number 4 in this exam is why is protecting the ozone layer important for life on earth? So the question from stratospheric ozone. How does the greenhouse effect influence global warming? And then what we asked in our tests, what is the greenhouse effect? Explain how it occurs in the earth's atmosphere. So one from greenhouse effect, then what is ozone layer depletion? Explain the main reasons responsible for it. And then third, another question we asked same, what are greenhouse gases? Name any 4 major greenhouse gases. So just think of a situation in which you have prepared all these questions and then you are coming across this type of question in exam, you will feel very happy, because you will solve it very easily, because you have practiced a lot of times these questions. Now coming to the fifth question. Now this question is 40 marks question. So you will see, you cannot see 40 marks question, because in MPSC questions are not asked for 40 marks, rather it will be asked for 15, 25, 15, like that. There will be 40 marks question, but it will be in a smaller questions. It will be in the form of a smaller questions, combined together it will make 40 marks. And here they have asked, in this question multiple questions are clubbed together. Okay, now what is the question? Define atmosphere and describe various layers of atmosphere based on temperature. Now this is a screenshot from our classroom. Okay, in classroom, this is a screenshot from classroom lecture. In the classroom lecture, while teaching this concept, I talked about a question. I wrote one question. Now it is written here. Explain vertical distribution of temperature in the atmosphere. That means I said the students that this type of question will come in exam. So I have drawn this, and then I have written this question also, and which directly came in exam. That there are various layers of atmosphere and vertical distribution of different layers, vertical distribution of temperature, you have to explain here. Now let's see what we asked in our test. So again, there is another question in this. I will read the second part also. Atmosphere, you got it. Then the second question asks, how transition from hunting to industrialization, how transition from hunting to industrialization has impacted the gases and temperature distribution in the atmosphere and its impact on biosphere. Now just remember guys, when we started this class, the first thing I talked about the man and environment. Now see this question coming here. Okay, that how from Paleolithic ages the behavior of man has changed. From Paleolithic ages to the age of industrialization, the interaction with the atmosphere, interaction with the environment has changed. And because of this, the entire biosphere is suffering a lot of problems. So this thing we discussed in the beginning of this environmental science class, environmental ecology class. And same question you can see here. So in our tests, have we asked this question again? So we have asked how hunting and gathering stage differ from later human environment relationship in terms of ecological impact. Just the language is different, but the question is same. Ecological impact, here ecological impact on biosphere they have asked. Then again, similar question we have given in a different way, that human progress has been achieved at the cost of environmental stability. Here also you have to write the same answer. Then third question we have asked, how has human interaction with the environment altered natural systems over time and what implication, etc., balance and stability. So for one question we have practiced 3 questions. In both the questions we have to write the same answer. The only difference is that you have to write about atmosphere separately. You got it? So you can see, if you practice these things, these questions will appear to be very, very easy for you. Now coming to next question. The next question which is asked in the exam, mains exam, is India is a mega biodiversity region and known as biodiversity hotspot. Now just few days back when I started biodiversity, I started with this concept. And this is again a screenshot from my that class where I discussed this subject. Now see here, while discussing this topic, I just simply wrote here that India is a mega diverse nation among the 17 mega diverse. So it is still written here in the screenshot. And then I talked about endemism. So it is still written here. And I told that this will be the question, and whenever you are going to answer anything related to biodiversity hotspot, you should start with this concept, that India is one of the 17 mega diverse nations of the world, and here are lot of endemic species. Endemism is there. Now you can see the question here. India is a hotspot, and discuss the statement describing uniqueness and endemism of various flora and fauna in forest and desert ecosystem. Now numerous questions we also gave from this, but one more question. What is a biodiversity hotspot? State the 2 main criteria for identifying hotspot. If you think about directly something related to hotspot. And we have in separate questions, we have asked about desert and forest ecosystems. I have not kept it there. But still the question came, which is similar to the question which is asked in our test. Now again a question, very critical question. So it is a question related to something conventional and non-conventional sources of energy. So now what is the question asking? India's energy transition from conventional to non-conventional resources is not only technological but socio-economic transformation. Okay, and then examine the statement, discuss the environmental, social policy, energy transition, so etc. So it is more related to sustainability. A lot of concepts are clubbed together into it. And again, we have asked different. So similar answer you have to write in this question. The question is different, but the answer will be similar. Now, what is the question we have asked? Why are environmental policies essential for achieving sustainable development in developing countries like India? So if you are trying to attempt this question or this question, the answer you have to write is similar. India is also looking for transition from conventional to non-conventional sources of energy, that we will also discuss in forthcoming classes. So India is looking for that transition, and all the developing countries similar to India are looking for that transition. Okay. Then another question, environmental problems are not only technological but fundamentally ethical in nature. Now again the question is same here, that it is not technological but socio-economic transformation is there. So similar type of question. Then explain the concept of sustainable development. So all this is related to sustainability, that whatever fossil fuel sources we are using, we have to switch to some sources of energy which are non-polluting in nature and which can be replenished within the time. Okay, so a similar kind of question you will find here again. If you write this answer, it will be the same answer you have to write here also. Now coming to next question. Now again it is paper 1, and in recent time India's water body had suffered severe water pollution. The question related to water pollution. Then discuss the reason for details of major sources and effect of wastewater on aquatic ecosystem and human health. Then again we have asked the question, discuss the application limitation of bioremediation. So here the question is also describe various bioremediation technologies. So we have also asked bioremediation, and water pollution we have asked numerous times, because water pollution is a very basic concept, that what is water pollution. So those type of questions were asked. I have not kept the screenshot there, but the question from bioremediation and related technologies are given here, which came directly in exam. Now coming to next question, again it is a repeated question. In just paper 1, they have again repeated the concept of food chain and food web. The trophic levels or something related to energy flow is directly connected with food chain and food web. So next question is again from the same concept. Explain the concept of food chain and food web, highlight their interrelationship and ecological significance. So again we have asked the question, why the concept of food web considered more realistic understanding? What is ecological imbalance? And then how has human interaction with the environment altered natural system? So again there will be similar kind of questions we have given. Now here, coming to the last question of paper 1, what are the major causes of land degradation in India? Again our question was, explain how land degradation is both a cause and consequence of unsustainable agriculture practices. Now again discuss the in situ and soil conservation, and here we have written what is soil salinization. So while you are going to write the question for soil salinization, you will write about something about the land degradation also. So this was paper 1. Questions were very twisted again, but everything is matching from our tests. Now coming to paper 2, where is paper? Just last question from this, and then we come to paper 2. Okay. So what is the last question? Natural resources forms the foundation of humans, yet their unsustainable use has. Again, it is a question from sustainability. Numerous times we have asked in the exam, and we have asked the question in a different way. We have asked that explain the concept of integrated natural resource management. So integrated natural resource management, here also the question is same. Examine the nature or importance of water, mineral, wildlife resources in India. So this is an integrated natural resource management. They have written separately and we have written integrated. So that is the same thing here, that integrated resource management you have to look for. Do not go for single resource management, you have to go for integrated resource management. Again, the question is same. Now coming to paper 2. In paper 2, the question number 1 is name the major types of aquatic ecosystem. Discuss the impacts of pollution, eutrophication and climate change on aquatic ecosystem. Again, our question is discuss the classification of aquatic ecosystems and explain the difference between freshwater and marine ecosystems. So again, the question is different. And in various other questions, we have asked about eutrophication, that what is eutrophication? What is biological oxygen demand? What is chemical oxygen demand? That we will discuss again in water pollution in this class also. But same thing was asked here also, eutrophication and etc. I have not kept the screenshot there. Again, if you see the next question, what is meant by environment? Discuss the scope and importance of environment in sustaining. So this question is technically wrong. Whatever they have asked in exam, this question is technically wrong. What will be the right question? Now see here, they have asked what is meant by environment. Now environment is something which is around us. And now the second part says discuss the scope and importance of environment in sustaining life on earth. Now it should not be related to scope of environment, because environment is everywhere. It should be related to something related to scope of environmental science as a study. Because this is related to scope comes whenever we are going for a study. So environmental science or ecology as a subject will have certain scope. Okay. Importance part is correct. Importance of environment in sustaining life, this part is correct, but not from the scope perspective. Anyway, so we have given the same question. Rather, in this paper 1 notes, this is the screenshot from our application in which entire unit is for a scope of environmental science, ecology, ecosystem, and biomes. So here we have 8 files which is for that. Then from one of the files, this is the first principles of environment, foundations for sustain. This whole content is related to this question. Still in our exam, we have asked what is meant by environment, explain the major components, what is ecology, describe the scope and subdivisions of ecology, etc. The same answer will be here. Now coming to next question, what is mission life? Discuss how mission life promotes sustainable development through behavioral change. And in the same exam, the question number 7 was again from mission life. So this is a blunder they are committing in the exam, because in the same exam, the question number 3 is also mission life, question number 7 is also mission life. It is not any concern for us. We will be very happy because we will answer both. Okay. Now in here we have asked the question, what is mission life? Explain its core idea, objective, promotion, objectives and promotion, sustainable lifestyles. So without naming behavioral change, we have written lifestyle. Okay. So again the question is same and you will be very happy answering it. Okay. Now coming to the next question. Question number 4 is, the Silent Valley project is a landmark in the history of environmental conservation in India. Discuss. Now we have asked the same question in different manner. Why was the Silent Valley project opposed? Because there was opposition for the Silent Valley project. Mention the environmental concerns related to it. It's the same question. And then another question we asked in different test. Why did the Silent Valley project become a major environmental controversy in India? So you can see how much it is matching from our tests. Even though you have gone for these tests and we provide model answer also. So if you have only read the model answer before the exam, then also well and good for exam. You will score very high marks in exam even if you go for model answers. You did the whole class and you have taken the whole course, that is much better. But still if you are left with no time, so if you go with the model answer only, then also you can write 80 to 90% answers in the exam, which will be exceptionally good. Okay. Now coming to the final questions. Now again they have asked, I told you, ozone layer depletion was asked in paper 1. In paper 2 also they have again written about the same question. Multiple repetitions are there in this exam. I don't know why. So define a stratospheric ozone thinning and describe some of the harmful effects of ozone depletion. Now, while giving this I have given before mains exam, I usually give 1-page notes. In this 1-page notes, I gave directly ozone layer depletion. So you can see here, ozone layer depletion, it was given as a 1-page notes. And in that, everything was written like this with the diagram and so on. So there was a question in it. Explain the causes of ozone layer depletion. Again, we have asked in tests, what is ozone layer depletion? It is a very common question. Anyone can guess it. Ozone layer depletion. So we are not that this question we have guessed it and it is something extraordinary. No, this is a common question, but still it is given in our test notes and everywhere. Okay, and we have practiced these questions very rigorously. And in exam, it was nothing for us to write everything. Now, again, the question was, what are the key objective provision in the Wildlife Protection Act 1972, which we will discuss in today's class. Wildlife Protection Act, what is significance? Now, our question in exam is, explain how the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 has helped in conservation of endangered species in India. Same thing. Both the answers will be same. Just minor twists based on the question. But let me make you very sure, if you have practiced this, you can easily write that. Okay. Anyway. Now coming to the next question, distinguish between municipal solid waste and non-municipal solid waste. This is the first part of the question, and the second part says, summarize how source reduction, reuse and recycling. This is the principle of 3R. Reduction, reuse and recycling help reduce the volume of solid waste. Now our question says, discuss the major sources of municipal solid waste in India. Examine the challenges of collection, segregation, disposal of solid waste. This is the question. And then in separately we have asked, explain the principle of reduce, reuse and recycle, 3R. Directly matching. In solid waste management, analyze how community participation can improve urban waste management system. So this was asked in our exam and this is coming in the real exam. Now coming to the final question, which is basically, what are El Nino and La Nina? Describe some of their effects on Indian monsoon. Now again, I provided 1-page notes just before exam because I thought that this topic may come. Now this is that notes, a screenshot of that note, which was a 1-pager note. And for quick revision. So again, El Nino, and in that note, impact on Indian monsoon is also written very shortly. We provide these notes for effective revision. That means you can quickly revise it and then you can write in the exam. So you can clearly see, and still in our tests, we have asked the question, explain El Nino and discuss its effects on global climatic patterns, because if this is coming in our test, then we provide separate model answer for our tests. That means the students have read this in 2-3 times and then they are going to write in the exam. So just think of this is the all the questions I have discussed here from paper 1 and paper 2. Now just think of a situation where you have read everything, because in classroom everything is covered, then you have read your notes, then you have got 1-page notes, and then in tests also the question is matching, in which you have got model answer. Then how you are not going to perform well in your exam? Okay, because you might be wondering that why I am so busy from the last month that I am not regularly taking your classes, because this is the result if we put some dedicated effort just before exams. When the time comes, I will put a similar kind of dedicated effort in MPSC prelims and MPSC mains exam. Okay, so that we can get the best outcome. So already we have around 250 students which have written prelims exam. So among them, most number of students will get selected. Okay, so we are expecting the best results here. Anyway, so this was all about the justification that why I am not so regular in your classes, because I was busy with these things. Okay, and now I'm very happy, students are very happy. So now we can continue with our classes. Now we have lot of exams coming in this year. For example, we have exams in March, 8th March, JPSC prelims. Then we have in April 2 exams, that is project manager, and then all exams are A-class exams, project manager and assistant conservator of forest, again a very important exam. And I'm expecting that in both these two exams which are scheduled in April, all questions will come from our test, notes, and similar kind. I will discuss again. I have predicted it first, I will discuss again. And then we have factory inspector, boiler inspector exams scheduled in May and June. And in between, I think the MPSC will also release its exam date. So that is why it is better to be slow, because I don't want to end everything here and then we are left with nothing. There will be a gap of 2-3 months before the exam in which you will be misguided completely. So that is why we are moving slow, because we have only one subject left, that is science and tech. And if that is also over, then we will have nothing to teach. The classes will not be conducted regularly. And that is why we are moving a little bit slower. And within this month, everything will be finishing. Okay. Everything is happening as per our schedule. I wanted to finish 1 month before our expected schedule. Our schedule was in February. I wanted to finish in January, but deliberately I have taken some breaks, because if we finished everything in January, then if the exam is happening in April, then there will be a lot of gap. Okay, I want you to continue with the classes and then just go for the exam. This is our strategy. Anyway, whether it is April, May, we don't care about it, because we will be trying to have most number of questions coming directly from our classes or from our tests or from our notes. Okay.